To get started, you must download Unity 3D. It's absolutely free. It's at unity3d.com. Just hit the download and hit download. Now, this automatically fixes itself whether you're downloading this for a Mac or a PC. So it works on both platforms. That's important. That's what I need for a game engine to do, is work on both platforms. I have a Mac lab and I have a PC lab, and I got Mac students and I got PC students. So that's why I chose Unity, because it's very cross-compatible with those things. I'm going to be teaching this in the same way I teach with the UDK, however, with building worlds. Okay, so in other words, things are made out of chunks, and how do you make those chunks textured, and etc. and so forth. So, and that's kind of the way the world is right now as far as with game development. You know, it's called reusable assets. So we're going to be looking at reusable assets and how they work. So for right now, download Unity. I'm using 3.2, but you can download 3.3. When you get all the way through it, what you do is it comes to a road where it says, do you want the free version or do you want the trial version? You'll say free version. The free version does not support dynamic shadows. If you're interested in that, you'll have to use the trial, but you only have 30 days. This is one of those things that if you're serious about games and developing games, I would say this is probably the one thing that you would spend money on, is a game engine. I think it's $200 for a license, and you can, you know, I don't know if that's the commercial version or not. Let's see what they got here. And I know they've had upgrades in the past, but it looks like they've upped the price quite a bit for Unity Pro. Which is sad, because it used to be like $200 for student valuation version. Now, that's not saying that they don't have that anymore, because if you are a student, you should try to find the student variation or email them, hey, I'm a student. I was wondering if you had a student variation of it. All companies usually do have student variations of software. They don't advertise it very well, though, so you might want to look into that. And just say non-commercial use. That's what you use as a terminology. Non-commercial use pro version. But again, we're going to be using the free version, so just download that. And when you are done installing it, you should have an icon in here. And I'm going to hit this. It's going to launch an actual project. Yours is going to launch a brand new thing where it says something about what kind of project do you want. So we're going to make a brand spanking new project. For right now, I'm just going to go new scene. And what I want to do in this video is to show you the interface and basic navigation. In the next video, we'll work on organizing ourselves. Really, it does take a lot of organization to pull this off. We're going to have to develop things in Blender, develop things in GIMP, and bring them into the game engine, and keep it all very nice and neat and clean. The good thing about Unity is this. Let's go in here and create other, and create a cube. Hold Alt, left mouse, hold Alt, right mouse, and then hold mouse and Alt at the same time, middle button. This has the exact same navigation as Maya. That is why I've been pushing Maya as far as the interface goes and the hotkeys. You know how I always go into Blender and I change it to Maya? It's because it matches 3 applications now: Unity, Maya, and Blender. So now you're more apt to be successful as far as the interface goes, because you've already been classically trained with the Maya navigation skills. So if you have taken my Modeling 1 course of Blender and you've used that plugin the entire time, you're going to be all set to use Unity. So Alt left, Alt right, Alt middle. Up at the top here we have select, move, rotate, and scale. I also had the very same information over here in numeric form. So position, XYZ, rotation, and scale. This is your project folder. This is basically the folder on your hard drive that contains all the good stuff. This is your scene, not to be mistaken for the project folder. This is what exists within the actual game itself. This is what exists on your computer. You can move stuff from your computer to your game. That's very easy. This program supports a lot of formats. It even supports native MB files, which is Maya. But we're going to be using primarily OBJs for this workflow, and I'm going to teach you how to clean them as we go and design it so you can automatically load the piece up and it'll launch the material and everything for you. Alright, now to get started with a new project, you can go File, New Project. This is where it gets kind of tricky and you got to know exactly what you want to be doing here. We just want the character control package for right now. I'm going to be working off my desktop primarily. So I'm going to be making a new folder in here. Unity Workflow. Under Unity Workflow, I want to type this in. Game. Okay, so I'll make a folder called Game. I guess that'll work better. And select that folder. And then I'm going to hit Create. I'll hit Don't Save to that. And voila, here we go. So you can see I have a nice blank assets directory, except for character controllers, third and first person. We'll get into that later. And I got just a main camera. Alright, now you should save this scene as Unity Workflow, Game, and you need to put it within your folder right here. So we'll call this your first name, last name. Oops. I'm going to put a 1 in here indicating where I'm at. Let's go to the Assets folder and hit Save. So now what happens is I can just, the next time I want to open a project, I can just go Open Project and you'll see it in the list. In this case, it's Game. Alright, now let's go and make a couple more folders here. So here's my Unity Workflow. Here's Game. I'm going to make a new directory in here called WIP. This is Work in Progress directory. And now I'm also going to make a new folder in here. clean assets. And now, just to keep things straight for you, okay, this will help you out. I'm going to label these at what they need to be, okay, as far as the step involved. Work in progress is always my first step, so I'll put that as 0, 1. Cleaning it is 0, 2. And game, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to relabel because it's actual project. See, if I do that, it's not going to turn out quite well. So I'm just going to leave it at game. That's step 3. So please move on to the next video where we start this pipeline.